Alex, that was very close. We're now live. This is Game Bites, the world's greatest gaming podcast. It is February 10th, 2023. Joining me is my compadre in college and also my number one Bill Murray lookalike cast member in my now touring musical Who's Bill? Will's Bill, and How Many Bills Do You Have? Alex McConnell, everyone. How's it going, my friend?
I've never seen this man in my life.
That's the number one. That's how this show opens.
Yeah, it's way different than what you wrote on the old sheets over here.
Well, you know, you gotta mix it up. That's what I always say.
You completely ripped the rug out from underneath of me. I had like a whole monologue ready, but yeah, never mind.
Well, you know, let's look at the sheet, everyone. Again, this is the Game Bites podcast. We are live on YouTube Friday nights at 8 p.m. Then the VOD is up for everyone to watch, and you can then find us on Apple and Spotify as well the next day. Alex, what are you drinking there, my friend?
I'm sipping on some 100% Northwest Apples prickly punch from an unnamed, not a sponsor. Well, I'm drinking it from a cup with my face on it.
I saw that, and I'm a little upset that it doesn't have my face on it, but I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, it's just a cider.
Just the cider? Oh,
yeah.
Just a cider. Well, you'll be happy to know that I have a cup of coffee, and I will be chasing that with a bowl full of garlic that I have in this bowl here. For proof, I did.
You have a bowl full of garlic in another bowl, or is it just the one bowl?
Two
I'm
bowls,
just trying to keep notes here.
One garlic. Yeah.
Garlic in this bowl.
Yeah, it's two garlics, one nature. I'm gonna use some ancient wisdom there. What I will say is that this, again, we go through the weekly news here. We talk about what's been happening, and this has been a big week. Nintendo Direct finally happened. People were excited.
As predicted.
Yeah.
By the way.
Who predicted that? Do you know?
Everyone involved with the Game Bites and Nibbles podcast predicted that it was going to happen sometime this week and or around the 6th.
Game Bites and Nibbles? That was
It's just for the people who do less than the bites.
Yeah, so people that are only nibblers, you know, they matter too. So you got to respect them. So one major announcement, though, before we get started. This is for the next few weeks. Major promotion came in, and at least for the next month and a half, we are going to be a fully dedicated Rumbleverse podcast. Yes, I know the game has technically been canceled and is closing down, but that just gives us more of a niche opportunity, and we're leaning in. I'm kidding. Yeah, so we're going to go through the news. We're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct. We're going to see the punishment I have to endure because of my prediction, or your prediction.
Yeah, your just overall disbelief and distrust in my ability to predict things correctly. That's why you're eating garlic today.
This is the third time of my distrust in our lifetime has led to me eating garlic.
Yeah, this is a lot. This keeps happening. Fool me once, shame on Alex every single time. I think that's the thing.
That's a good thing. Someone in the chat, Tommy Worm, says fans of Game Bites are called nibblers, and I think that's official. How are all my nibblers doing? I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
As long as everyone's very articulate about their opinions, then we shouldn't run into any problems.
Agreed. And with that, let's go ahead and transition to the news. So yeah, the Nintendo Direct happened. What was it? This past Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. your time, correct?
No one cares about my time.
Well, you know, I agree with them. So it was an exciting Nintendo Direct. A lot of announcements happened. Some people weren't surprised, right? Like, you know, Advance Wars, we do have the release date. That's now coming out April 22nd, I believe. You know, but before
you called that. That was the only thing you got right.
Wait. I actually said April?
No, you said you expected an Advance Wars news. And that was it. First thing. You also said Tears of the Fallen Kingdom would be reserved for a completely different Direct. That was a lie. Well, you thought for sure there would be some more Mario news to some way connect with the movie that's coming out on April 7th, and there was none of that. You know?
I did. I am surprised about that, but with the announcement that did happen, I'm not surprised. So I get one thing I'll say: predicting Advance Wars is coming out is not hard. That game was ready to go last year. They had to get it off the shelf at some point. This is like the final year. So with that, I have this beautiful picture pasted in the spreadsheet. Did you see it? I want to thank K-Max here in the community for giving me it. Alex, why don't you take us through the games? And I want your pronunciation to be perfect. No mistakes. What was
Gonna
announced?
take another sip.
Okay.
We got Metroid Prime Remastered. We got Zelda Tears of the Fallen Kingdom. Is this what you want me to do, or am I reading the wrong part?
That's correct. I mean,
That's it. Yeah, I
the
didn't know there
photo
was a
below.
second.
Do you see the photo below?
Pikmin 4, Splatoon 3 expansion pass, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. I guess emulations coming.
Correct.
New World of Steam from Professor Layton. Man, I wish there was more than 8 pixels in this JPEG you sent me. Kirby's Something of the Dreamland. Oh, Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Illusion Island, Advance Wars 1 and 2. Cereza and the Lost Demon, Octopath Traveler 2 is actually coming to the Switch. Surprise. Rain Code. That looks like a bunch of plants. Minecraft Legends. Samba de Amigo. Party Central. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. That also has more than 8 pixels. Mario. Whoa, what's this? Booster Course Pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Expansion Pass. I thought these are game announcements and they just tag the word expansion pass at the end of it. Oh, that's like pretty much the rest of them. We got Fantasy Life, Fashion Dreamer.
That one's
We
big
Heart
for me.
Katamari. What, Fashion Dreamer?
Yeah, let's be honest. Come on.
We got Deca Police, Dead Cells, Return to Castlevania. Whoop! Sea of Stars. That might say Blaine? Is it just Blan or Blano?
I think it's Blanc.
It looks like Blanc. Oh, that's a C. Disney Dreamlight and Valley. Omega Strikers, Tales of Symphony Remastered, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, Harmony, The Fall of More Pixels, Tron Identity, I'm curious about that, and Have a Nice Death? Is that what those say?
That's that looks like an that was the one Metroidvania game I saw that might interest you. That I think it was a Metroidvania.
Have a Nice Death. That's I like that title actually.
Yeah, and Tron Identity is by Mike Bithell Games. Mike Bithell is a pretty well-known indie developer. In fact, if anyone ever wants to get into the idea of making a game company or making games, he actually has like the 2 best books to do how to make a game company. I haven't. They're pretty good. Yeah. So let's quick clear out. Bite and Kaidos 1 and 2 was the one you said with all the plants, and Etrian Odyssey were the other ones. And I think both of those are GameCube games, or one's a GameCube game, Bait and Kaidos, and the other one is a DS game, I believe, that they're bringing back. So I'll say this. Clearly, I get the sense that this is probably the Switch's last year, right? Tears of the Kingdom being the biggest game probably coming out.
It's like a bookend.
Yeah. Metroid Prime Remastered. And they said this Nintendo Direct is going to be the first half of the year in terms of coverage. So not surprised with what we got. I was surprised we got some things that were going into July, to be honest, though. But yeah, Metroid Prime Remastered, that's a big one. I mean, Pikmin 4, people like that game. I've never played one. I hear they're good. I love Splatoon. Professor Layton's a very popular DS franchise, I want to say. DS, 3DS, they're like puzzle games. Puzzle, like adventure. Kind of like Ace Attorney, but you're a professor,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's the Bayonetta prequel, Advance Wars, Octopath. They announced the demo that's now live on Switch, and I love how Square does this. If you download the demo, your save file will be continued in the main game.
Yeah.
Samba de Amigo, that's a throwback, man. Do you remember those games from back in the day? Okay, not surprised. You have no rhythm. I'm kidding. We Love Katamari is a remake as well, which I'm glad they're bringing those games back to. Decap Police. That's an interesting one. People are like, I'm not sure what, but maybe it will be good. There was something they said at the end there was just like all these. Yeah, it was a little bit aggressive. I'll be honest. In terms of like something you could refer to a police as.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, that is there. But yeah, I mean, so. Nothing truly surprising, to be honest, except Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. And this is why I want to bring up why I'm going to eat a bowl of garlic. So in last week's episode, and again, for everyone here for the contest, we'll be announcing those winners at the end of the show. But in last week's episode, we said what? That, if there's a Wario Land game, I will eat an entire bulb of garlic.
Yeah, you asked me if I had any other predictions, and I thought it would just, what if Wario bombs the Direct? And I said they just talk about Wario for 45 minutes, but you said if Wario is mentioned at the Nintendo Direct, I will eat a bowl of garlic. I think you just said a whole clove of garlic. I don't know where the bowls came into this. I think everyone's wondering why are bowls involved. Just grab garlic by the bowls.
Bulb. I said first I said clove, then you were like, wait, a whole thing?
Bulb.
Yeah.
Bulb.
So
gotcha.
here's what we're going to do, chat, and all our lovely viewers and listeners. Alex is going to go through the things that interest him most from this Nintendo Direct, and while he's doing that, I'm going to start eating my garlic. So, Alex, out of everything you saw here, what interests you most, and what, things that you aren't... What are you interested in that you aren't surprised you're interested in? Tears of the Kingdom. Why? And also, what was shown that maybe you said, hey, I don't know what that is, but it has me curious. You can't base... Octopath wouldn't be that one.
I can't talk without... I need like a background noise, like someone chewing on garlic.
Hey.
That's what I need going on in the background.
I got you.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's...
Oh, it's fresh. Oh!
Yeah, that's gonna... You got a whole thing to go through there. No, I'm most excited for Tears of the Kingdom. I know there's a lot of sky elements to this time, but I was a little worried, but also maybe hopeful that they literally just have the map from the first game, and they're like, just throw some stuff in the sky and maybe tinker with some stuff rather than building from the whole ground, like literally the whole world from the ground up. Because it did look super similar. Even like the draw distance, I'm still not used to that. I remember when the first Link game, or no, Zelda game, what's it called, came out, draw distance changed drastically from like those first couple of trailers to the final release. Like it just looks foggy. And this game looks the same. It looks foggy. The draw distance doesn't look that far, but I'm expecting more out of when it's finally comes out.
So
Breath of the Wild.
That's a good point. If you think about it, Breath of the Wild is technically a Wii U port.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, they just kind of did that little. Wait, it wasn't on the Wii U, but it was kind of like.
No, it was on the Wii U. Breath of the Wild released on both the Wii U and the Switch. The Wii U just sold 12 million copies. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sold more copies in 2 weeks than the Wii U did in its entire lifetime.
Wasn't it 72 hours they sold? Oh, I see.
72 hours, they sold 10 million, but I think the Wii U was around 12 million total in the end of its lifetime. So, but yeah. So because of that, Tears of the Kingdom is a game made from the ground up for the Switch. So it's definitely got a little bit more oomph behind it. They brought in Monolith Soft, who, partially owned by Nintendo, I believe. They know how to make games beautiful on the Switch, and they worked on Tears of the Kingdom. And there's a new technology, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago, that they essentially patent that's supposed to basically help with how the system processes transparent objects from a distance. So I think it's trying to your point, get to that idea of draw distance and stuff in the game and make it more vibrant. So I'll leave you that. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom looks good. There's the new vertical world. It's up above. There's going to be underground, it seems like, because it's, so you'll be up, you'll be below.
Caves.
And then what?
Caves.
You can make your own vehicles. And speaking of vehicles, I'm going to have some more garlic.
Yeah, it's like they're like all people did for the end game was make these wonky vehicles, both airborne and other stuff. So let's just give them the... I'm assuming it's going to be like a Skyrim thing where they just give you the tools to do it, and it's going to be like its whole side thing. Like, go ahead, make a tractor, make a harvester if you want. It's just going to roll forward and backwards, but it's, I wonder if they're just going to give you all the tools to do it, because people got super creative with the first game in figuring out things. Yeah, a lot of interesting innovations coming in this next one.
I didn't know garlic would make me cry like this.
Yeah, I don't know. That chemical in there is going to open up a lot of things in your body, a lot of pores, a lot of.
I have emotions from 12th grade that are just pouring out of me right now.
I'm excited for the GBA and the Game Boy ports as well. I feel like one day, I know licensing is a hassle, but I hope one day everything's just on there. We're going to talk about it more lately. So you posted a question in there, but there are so many ton of games that I would rebuy just to relive that. I like Octopath Traveler just because it's like an HD, but it's still 16-bit, 8-bit or whatever. It's still like retro graphics.
Oh.
And I just like those games. I played a lot that I bought legally on a Raspberry Pi. It was just nice revisiting them, So I'd gladly pay for them again. Thing that has my attention is Tron. I love the franchise. I love Daft Punk. I love the sequel. I'm not excited about the new movie they're going to make if it has anything to do with a specific actor, but
you mean Morbius? You mean Morbius?
Yeah. I don't know why he keeps getting casted for things. Like there's so much other talent out there and young and up and comings, and
he used to be
what Garrett Hedlund was at the time.
Yeah, he used to be good. Like even when he had his band 30 Seconds to Mars back in the day, I liked that. then something happened that I think happens to a lot of actors in Hollywood, where they believe that they themselves are God. And
yeah, and he started his own cult following and actually thinks that and stuff like that. Like,
you pay a
not
lot of
everyone does
money.
that,
Yeah. But you know,
but
yeah. Anyways, digression. Yeah.
yeah.
So Game Boy,
I'm
Game Boy
excited for
Advance.
Kirby's Octopath.
I want those Castlevanias to come, even though we already have them on the Advanced Collection. This is an interesting question for all the people in chat, and you know, if you want to post this in chat, or if you're watching afterwards and want to post in your comments, what Game Boy or Game Boy Advance game do you want to see come to the Switch that hasn't already been announced? What about those Dragon Ball Z Legacy Goku games? Remember those?
I would do them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Legacy of Goku 1 and 2 and Boo's Fury, which
Boo's
I don't know
Fury.
why they didn't call it Legacy of Goku 3. It's the same exact gameplay. Other games like Supersonic Warriors is just like a 2D fighter, but it has verticality to it.
Oh.
All of those. Battle of the Sands. Like, I would play any Dragon Ball Z game that's ported. They're all good. I liked Boo's Fury actually included the whole Gogeta and Janemba fight too as well. So
Oh, wasn't that a movie? I keep forgetting that you like Dragon
Fusion
Ball Z.
Reborn. Yeah, I know. It's weird. I kind of wear the clothes every once in a while, but you can't see it. But other than that, I know I hide it pretty well.
Yeah, you're not like a big collector or anything.
Yeah. But no, the game that I'm the most excited for, because it hasn't appeared ever, is Golden Sun. Oh, someone mentioned it at the same exact time I did. But Golden Sun, it was a phenomenal game, and I just do not know. It's probably licensing or some other thing.
Oh, it's coming.
Like,
they announced it. It's coming. It's not out yet, but it's coming. They had it on. They had it on like coming games that are coming soon. Metroid Fusion, a bunch of other games, and Golden Sun was the last one they showed.
what?
Yeah. Oh.
My dreams, they've come true.
Like
yeah,
it.
Golden
That's the show.
Sun, man, that's gonna pick up. Whoever hasn't ever I don't know who hasn't played that. That's not from our generation yet, but a lot of up and comers who have never heard of Golden Sun because there's never been any publicity or marketing or anything for it other than just like random. What game do you miss the most kind of thing?
Yeah.
But I feel like that's gonna grab a lot of people. It's just such a good game. It did a lot of things that back then that have been copied since then in other games, but it's just such a good game.
I've
I've
heard great things about it, and there are a lot of people that are very passionate about it, and I think you don't get passionate on a game and like it's unless it's deserved. So yeah, I mean, listen, Tears of the Kingdom we could talk about for an entire episode, but I am stoked for that. Advanced Wars, very happy for that. Obviously the GB and GBA games. Wario Land 3 is a great one. I want them to bring more Wario Land games, like Wario Land 1, Wario Land 2. Wario Land 4 for the GBA is a phenomenal game. But besides all that, I think obvious stuff, the two things I think I'm most excited about out of this Nintendo Direct, besides, again, Zelda and Metroid Prime, would be Sea of Stars. Have you heard about this game? It was shown. So Sea of Stars is made by the same people that made The Messenger. I don't know if you've played that game. It was a game that came out on the Switch probably back in 2017, 2018. Metroidvania type game, but you're a ninja and there's like time traveling elements. It's got phenomenal writing and phenomenal gameplay. I'm honestly surprised that you haven't played it.
Yeah.
And it's by a company called Sabotage Studio. This new game, Sea of Stars, is in the same universe. It's, I think, before The Messenger happens. And the guy wanted to basically tell another story with a different game genre. And this is an indie studio. And so he's taking a lot of inspiration from games like Chrono Trigger and a lot of those classic Final Fantasy games. He even has the composer Mitsuda from Chrono Trigger making the music for Sea of Stars. So there's a demo out for this now.
That's what I was about to ask you. Are you just like talking this up and it's something from 20 years ago and you're just teasing us, or is this was announced Sea of Stars? Yeah,
Sea of Stars. Right. It's yeah. I mean, you love those classic RPG games, right? This is a game I think you'd want to check out too, and I think people in the chat, if you're a fan of RPGs, you would enjoy this game as well. But I thought it was good. I think to the things we missed on Wario Land, I'm eating garlic. I'm happy about Wario Land. Wario is my favorite.
You're not eating enough. I didn't hear any crunches recently.
I have one more clove, okay? I'll do that.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's...
Plutarch's over there like throwing up in the corner because you're like shoving some down to him.
No. You know garlic and onions can kill a dog?
Onions can kill a rabbit. It's not good for them.
Yeah.
I know that. We don't feed them onions, shallots, anything like that.
Garlic and onions, anything... The allium family is highly poisonous to dogs. So one time I gave my dog a burger from... like fast food restaurant, like I just gave him, I was like, I don't want this. right? Not the
You
best.
still have this dog. Let's just preface that right now.
Yeah.
This dog is still alive.
He's healthy. He's happy. He loves
Okay.
me. He cuddles with me at night, and
He doesn't move. He's really stiff. But the cuddle is nice.
Total Kevin Office
He's
moment.
so cold.
Oh. Anyways, and I just noticed that his urine was a funky color shortly after that, and so I like looked into it real quick, and yeah, onions and garlic, because there was just a little bit of onions on the burger, but just doesn't take a lot for dogs, and I guess a lot of creatures. Their kidneys can't break it down, and it basically starts to destroy their kidney the second they get it. So like, never give your dogs onions or garlic. Like it is.
What if we find out later in life that onions and garlic are the only reason we die at the ages of 80 to 100 of natural causes? Like that's it. That's our demise, is we love onions too much.
The Italian culture then would be responsible for most of the deaths in the world.
Okay.
And
all right, back to Wario. I think that's where we left off.
Well, let me just add this. I will stand with my people. So
yeah.
You're all going to keep eating garlic.
Eat a bowl of garlic.
Yeah. Everyone keep eating garlic. You have no choice. Anyways. Yeah. So we were right about some things, wrong about others. The Mario thing's a good point. I legit thought there would be a new Mario game. But here's my thought process. They're bringing back these classic games. And I imagine that the Mario games that are already on the Switch and the Switch's price point alone is going to be enough that if you have a Mario movie and then there's all this, Nintendo, people are going to go out and buy Switches and Mario games after that, no matter what the game is. You know what I mean? Like I think it's going to have the same appeal. There's just no need to make a movie specific game, which again, I thought there was going to be something alongside the movie for sure. So yeah, that's something I own.
We'll see if it happens. They have until April 7th to live up to you eating another bowl of garlic or something.
I'm not agreeing to that. That was the last piece of garlic. That's all gone, chat. So we're done. Bye. We'll announce the winners. Your light just went off. There you go. No. I think so. Sticking with Nintendo. The question I asked at the beginning of that Nintendo Direct was, are they going to break the best-selling game of all time record? Console.
Who?
Nintendo.
With what? Nintendo?
My tongue's burning. It's on fire for some reason.
No idea what.
Yeah, so Nintendo Switch recently became the third best-selling console of all time, passing the PlayStation 2 and the Game Boy, and PlayStation 4 and the Game Boy. Oh, hold on.
This is so good. Why was the last one? It was literally like the last bite or something from that Hot Wings channel.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing. Hot Wings.
Really struggling here.
Yeah, we'll do different flavors of garlic. But before I go into that, there's some people bringing up a good point in the chat here. Tears of the Kingdom being $70. The game industry in general is adjusting to inflation and cost of production and all that stuff. I don't think Nintendo is trying to gouge people. I think Nintendo.
No.
They
talk about that. What the other news with Nintendo this week with sales and they're charging $70 for Zelda, but what else are they doing here, Mark?
So they also made this statement that we're not doing this with every game. It's going to be a game by game basis, which I think is evident. They just made a beautiful remaster of Metroid Prime, which isn't just like, hey, we ported it. It is a true darn gosh remaster. It's a love letter to that game. That's $39. They could have charged a lot more for that if they just want to gouge people. And I only say that Nintendo is not a company that just wants to rip you off because they care about their business. And I think they're just being business sensitive. And here's why. So the same day they announced that the Switch performed lower than expected for the fourth quarter of this past year, stock went down 7% naturally. I mean, they still broke records, right? The Switch is over 125 million or 122 million units sold. It's possibly going to become the best console of all time in terms of sales. The same day they announced lower than possible expectations, they raised their entire base salary for everyone in the company by 10%. Everyone else in our culture and country in this economic situation is literally just cutting people. And
cutting jobs.
Yeah. Good point.
That sounded like two 1700s.
Yeah, that's Hey, I got a sickness. Go to the barber. They'll get it out of you.
Cut him.
Yeah. Hey, Sweeney, what are you doing? Anyways, so and Nintendo, I love them for this because they do it right all the time when it comes to this stuff. I have the article up here back in 2015, 14, I want to say, when the 3DS was performing poorly. Previous president Satoru Iwata, God rest his soul, took a took a salary cut of 50% of his salary, and all other executives took 40%, and lower level directors took 20% price cut. So the company's performing badly, and the head of the company says, "I own this. I am cutting my salary by 50%." So I add it to that, and then I also add that back in 2020, in one of their quarter's earnings, they announced like how much does Shigeru Miyamoto make. Now he makes probably like $1 million in bonuses, potentially, depending on what that bonus is dictated off. But he's still making just 6 figures salary, which for someone of his stature and a company of a global
and tenure,
yeah, that is nothing compared to what someone at an EA or an Activision or any of these other companies make. So like the parity between a higher up exec and a base worker is a lot closer at a Nintendo than anywhere else. So if you want to get mad at Nintendo for the price cut, be my guest. I mean, for the price increase, be my guest. But I really think that it's just the evidence of doing business, and it's probably not going to be universal. And frankly, Tears of the Kingdom, I don't know how it's going to be, but I don't have any issue. Like I bought Dead Space for $70. Like why would I not want to buy my favorite game?
Yeah, I think the PS5 crowd is used to that though. Was Scarlet and Violet 60 or was it 70 as well?
It was 60. $60.
Yeah. And even then people were like, for a Switch game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, I just out of all the, I mean, I was gonna say just for any game on Nintendo, I think Zelda. It's the Breath of the Wild was like I don't know, it's just huge. You know, it's just the reviews and everything. If any game's gonna be $70 and I'm gonna have to pay for it, it's definitely the sequel to that game.
Yeah.
There's games like Hollow Knight. Honestly, there's games that deserve a higher price than their selling point. I think Hollow Knight was. When I got it I think it was just $20. It was like on sale in the PlayStation Store. But like that's a game. I wish I could give the developers more, and I did with like their DLCs and stuff. But there's just some games that people are willing to shell out more money or just be more understandable or like, hey, devs, here you go. I love it, you know?
Yeah. I legally should make a statement right now. I am a stockholder in Nintendo, so that should be announced as I talk about how much I love Nintendo. I don't want to be like sued for, hey, he's hyping it up, but also an owner. So I do have to declare that. But keep going.
There's no market manipulation on weekends.
Yeah, there's no Game Bites market manipulation. Yeah, I mean, again, everyone can be. It's easy to be cynical about things. I think the harder choice is always, in my opinion, typically the path to follow and to see why some of these companies might make these decisions. It takes a little bit more work than just wanting to be upset. Unless they're known for this, EA, for example. So, anyways, yeah, I mean. I'm afraid to say I love Nintendo. Someone in the chat says, "Can we add Bite of the Night segment to the show where I eat something weird?"
I think so. I just think it has to be based on predictions. But it's kind of tough with it. I think we should always do it for Nintendo Directs, rumors or games. But I don't know. It would have to be tough. How much weird stuff can you find in Pittsburgh that's not something we always eat? Like, oh, here's this weird Polish thing we got down at. Gosh, I can't think of the name of the Pen Mac, but like we all eat it every week, so it's not weird to everyone.
Yeah, weird Polish things, everything. And
everything. But like I said, we eat it all the time.
But it's
it's delicious.
Yeah, it's oxygen, that weird Polish thing, and water. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, we'll look into that. I like the idea of us adding something like that to the show, where like there's a beer we try every week, or
you consistently being wrong about predictions. We can add that. It kind of just happens.
It's my specialty. I was born for it. My mother looked at me and said, "You, my child, are destined for terrible things." And yeah, so far it's been great. I'm happy. Yeah, so that's Nintendo. It was a good week for them. I don't know what the year holds ahead, but I am very happy and excited about Tears of the Kingdom. I'm excited about Metroid Prime. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the one week that I'm just like too sick to do a podcast, and I'm like busy being sick.
It's okay. I'm already taking off work. May 12th, taking off work. Gonna use that vacation policy. Speaking of Pokemon, though, I think in this last quarterly earning as well, where they did announce that they're increasing the base salary by 10% for their employees. They also announced that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has already sold over 20 million copies, which it makes it automatically the third best-selling game of all time. This has been out since November.
Fourth.
Third.
Oh, is it third now? Okay,
no, fourth. You're right.
Yes, Mark has to eat something weird next week. Yeah. I did it, everyone. We did it, guys. Everyone.
Yeah. Gold and silver is in between. So it goes red and blue, sword and shield, gold and silver, then scarlet and violet right now. But there's I don't know where gold and silver is. It's like a 1 million difference right now. Needless to say, sword and shield are at 25 million, and scarlet and violet are over 20 million in less than how many months again? 2 months? That's insane. Like, this actually might become the best-selling Pokemon game of all time. And my weird prediction, and if I'm wrong about this, I'll eat something weird, is that on Pokemon Day this month, we'll get a DLC announced.
Oh, I know. That's what I was about to say about this little Google Sheets, this promo. Like, Nintendo Direct's like, guys, here's a bunch of stuff, but like, I hate that most of this stuff is like, hey guys, expansion passes, which is cool to announce future DLC coming up. But yeah, you're probably right. I think Sword and Shield have more DLC. Scarlet and Violet. You think within a month or Pokemon Day? When's Pokemon Day? Let's see if you get that right.
It's February. I don't know. No, it's February something.
Guys, in February there's a Pokemon Day.
Well, we already know that they're releasing a new patch this month as well. They just said that bugs and performance stability are coming. They haven't been very specific, but so I think they probably are prioritizing a new patch, maybe alongside some potential gamers coming back to the game as well, so
yeah,
just a thought. Yeah, if I'm wrong, I will eat
I think that is that's not the best prediction. Like Pokemon Day, what's the only thing going on in the world of Pokemon? Well, a lot of weird stuff in Japan, but the only Pokemon game out right now, here's some DLC because we don't release a game every year.
That's fair enough.
Let's see, Mark. Let's see.
Well, here, going with that, do we get a remaster game this year? The cadence has been that we get a new game and a remaster within the same year, right? So do we get a remaster, and what is it going to be a remaster of? That could be something we ponder.
It's too soon for a new game, but then I think the next game's in line, or what? Black and White are next, right? You wouldn't know. Never mind.
No. Because the first DS games were Diamond and Pearl, then Black and White, and then Black and White 2. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think it's too soon for those.
Okay, well.
We'll see.
If Alex is wrong, he has to play Fortnite.
Come on.
I love it.
Make me eat a snake or something. I don't want to play Fortnite.
That's not that bad. I once ate snake venom and wine in Vietnam, and I'm fine. Yeah, so, is there anything else about Nintendo that you want to talk about?
No, that was a solid 34 minutes of just Nintendo. Mark owns stocks in Nintendo.
Thank you. Again, clarity, I own stock, so I have bias, and it's also very low right now, so if you want to buy it up, don't sell. No, don't listen to me.
Make your own decisions.
I don't know what I can say. I can't be in violation of the law if I don't know it. I think that's a thing.
Yeah, it's Japan. It's different countries. It's not. You can't do different country stuff. You're fine.
Yeah. Anyways, So with that, one other. So coming out this month as well, Wild Hearts. It's obviously EA. It's not Motives, but it's a EA smaller project company. Attempt to make Tecmo Koei. It's not a small company. The people behind, Dynasty Warriors and all that, right?
Yeah, all the Warriors games.
Yeah. So
what are they making? Wild Hearts?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. So they have a history of making a Monster Hunter type clone game. Back in 2014, they made Suikoden, I want to say, and there was a couple sequels to that. No, one came out in the U.S. There was a lot on the Vita, and typically
that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why the Vita actually didn't do well. No.
Yeah, Sony said, you know what? Never mind. This might mean no more Warriors games.
Yeah. When a company does a clone of Monster Hunter, they typically make it easier. Try to making it more palatable with the idea of like, hey, if we do make it a little bit easier, more people will like it. They think there's mass appeal to this.
Yeah, like an easier onboarding.
Yeah,
with harder in game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's mostly failed for any competitor. Monster Hunter World basically said, no, we can keep it really hard. If we just make it more palatable from a UI experience and all that, more people will play it. So, I mean, Koei Tecmo has come out and said that this isn't just a Monster Hunter clone. So they're trying to do their own spin with it, but it looks like a Monster Hunter clone.
It's also a hack and slash. Believe it or not, you will find hordes of enemies and you will have to kill them all at once.
It's a Mushu. It's a Mushu monster.
It's a Mushu. I'm just going to be honest. Press circle and you're going to use your Mushu.
Yeah. So I know we've talked about as being openly optimistic in terms of let's see what happens here. Do we pick it up? The one thing I love about it, though, is that this is a cross-play game. So if you're playing it on PlayStation 5, I'm playing it on my PC, we can play together.
None of y'all have excuses.
Yeah, none of you. Together. Yeah. None of you have excuses unless you're playing Marvel Snap and it's sucked your entire life away. Speaking of
Hearts, not a mobile game, but I will be on it.
Yet, let's be honest. So yeah, I mean that comes out again. I think February 28th or 27th. I don't think Koei Tecmo is owned by EA, but I do think EA is publishing a game made by Koei Tecmo. I think that's how it's working.
Don't listen to Mark.
Yeah, I'm often wrong, but really unconfident.
He's usually just hungry and he just wants a reason to eat food outside of someone else making food for him.
It's an originals label. Oh, Omega Force. Okay. Yeah, it's a division of Koei Tecmo, Omega Force.
Yep.
Oh.
And how is it?
Yep, that's the exact sound
screen.
It makes.
Yeah, that's the exact noise. They actually recorded me doing it when I was 8 years old.
That's why you missed soccer camp that one year. Okay.
Is this gonna? All right, so I just gotta open a sparkling thing real quick. I don't know how this is gonna happen. If I randomly cut out, it's because it exploded. What else is on the news? We're talking about crossplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about Activision real quick before we get into the rest of it, because it's going to take up a while. I don't know.
I can hear Joy. What do we want to talk about? Yes. Hey, Joy. Hope you're well. That's his wife. Everyone.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So, I mean, there was an interesting tweet in the tweet world this past week. Lulu Chang Messervey, who is I was going to say electronic, but she is the vice president of corporate affairs and CCO of Activision Blizzard. So chief communications officer. On Twitter, she basically went on this long rant, basically saying, hey, look, FTC, how successful The Last of Us is. Why are you worried about Sony not being able to be competitive? Look at what The Last of Us is doing. Look at the TV show's success. Look at the game's subsequent success. Sony has a lot of properties like this. We're not going to hurt them. And I recommend looking it up. If you Google Lulu Chang, you'll see articles about it. I don't want to read it quote for quote. It's a little interesting because, one, it has to be intentional and approved internally. You don't have someone this high up in the company saying, I'm just going to tweet off the hip, especially when the FTC is investigating us. I don't see that happening. But I share that news with the context of a major analyst in this space. This is an article from Video Game Chronicles. The analyst company is Wedbush Security Analyst, so they analyze securities.
Wedbush?
Wedbush. So
I was going to say, that sounds like a completely different monitoring system. Okay.
Yeah. So Nick McKay and Michael Patcher suggest in a research note that the regular's antitrust warning in the UK CMA is a losing legal argument, and they know it, and that some of the recent statements by the UK CMA basically reveal that a deal might be soon. So, in this announcement by the UK CMA, and again, this is one of the regulatory bodies investigating Activision and Microsoft. The other two is the European Union's body, and then the US's FTC. Basically, the UK CMA came out and said, hey, we think that there could be some modifications to this deal, such as maybe Activision sells off the division of the company, or Microsoft sells off the division of the company that owns Call of Duty, or you have some behavior modifications, such as, just make sure Call of Duty still comes out on the PlayStation. which is what Microsoft has been saying they're going to do. So there's very stark contrast between those two options. One's basically saying no one owns Call of Duty, and another's basically saying, or you just keep putting it on there like you said you would. And so these analysts are suggesting that these types of announcements are indicative that there's probably going to be a deal like that made, and that the merger most likely will still go through. Again, this is from Video Game Chronicle. I'm not a securities expert. I do not own stock in Microsoft or Sony. Just making sure that's clear. But
Activision?
Yeah, to me, it does seem like overall that is still a fair offer. Like, hey, Microsoft's strategy is different than Sony's with how they want to handle their property. So I say all this. This is your favorite topic. This is your...
It's not. That's why I was, until you just directed an immediate statement or question at me, I was trying to not talk.
Okay. Yeah. So again, the FTC is not supposed to make a decision until the end of this summer. That's what they said. They have their own court procedure, but the UK is kind of making this announcement now. I wouldn't be surprised if the EU gets ahead of something too, just because they're kind of like all showing off. They're like, "Oh, we're the better regulators." No, we are. No, we are. And I'm indifferent. I think whatever is just should happen, and I'm not sure what that is myself, to be honest. So
yeah, I know.
I'll just talk about it
here. I'm indifferent to the entire concept of Activision and Call of Duty, but I also don't want anything detrimental to happen to Sony because of their contribution to the single player genre and overall, like the Sony exclusives that they put on their system. Like, I want them to keep putting it out.
I would be.
They're fighting the good fight for a reason. Like, if they know what their bottom line is and what they would be losing, or like now, next year, or 5 years from now, like what if? No, they wouldn't do that. Never mind. That was a bad scenario. But I know Sony's looking out for themselves in some way, and I don't want anything to happen to them.
Yeah,
someone protect them.
And I think that's part of the strategy, which Sony assessed the situation and basically said, hey, we can afford to make a fight in the grand scheme of things. Why not make a fight instead
of God of War money?
Yeah, well, we can afford to make a fight instead of not making a fight. Why not we do it just to see what we can get out of it? Like, there is some strategic sense in basically making as big of a battle as you can.
Yeah, there's also probably precedent going to be set with this. Whatever the decision is, this might come up again with another franchise in a couple of years, another developer, So there's a reason to fight it.
Yeah. Talking about all that God of War money, I love going back to the statement that PlayStation made in one of the original arguments, which is like, they want to make us like Nintendo, which
they were worried.
Yeah.
That Microsoft was trying to make them like Nintendo.
So let's assess that situation. Nintendo, their IP Pokemon sold over 20 million copies within
3 months.
Within 3 months. Released in November. God of War Ragnarok, released in November, 11 million copies. It seems like Sony would benefit from being a little bit more like Nintendo.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. And I'm not saying that as a gotcha. I'm just saying that, like, the argument that Nintendo is therefore bad and can't be competitive, it was a weird moment because the analysts within these regulation bodies started to create these, I think, artificial groupings of business where they're like, well, yeah, there's the high performance gaming industry with PlayStation and Xbox, and then there's
they added high performance to it.
They started to categorize differently. I'm like, that is just some real arbitrary, bifurcation, in my opinion, where to me it just comes from price point, and that's just common. That's a whole separate conversation.
Hey, if you want to talk about price point, Nintendo's trying to compete in that game space with $70 game.
Yeah, and they'll probably still sell more than God of War Ragnarok.
I hope so. It's a great... Everything that the first game did is worthy of a sequel and trust. What would I say? The customer's trust, pretty much.
Yeah. So again, who knows? But that's the Activision news. In other news, you put this article up here about Hogwarts Legacy that did come out. Let me just say this.
That is a big gaming news thing. There's a lot of stuff surrounding this.
Yeah, and
frankly, mysterious. Yeah,
a lot of magic. Here's what Go ahead. Don't say that title that you put in there, but I love that you did it.
I was feeling saucy this morning. Got to work,
Yeah.
Just had a coffee.
Yeah.
You know. No, the news was I've seen a lot of news this week. A lot of Reddit posts about Hogwarts Legacy. But Hogwarts Legacy actually broke a major Twitch record with single day active viewers. What was it? Was it? I'm not going to say it without saying it, but I think it's 1.29 million.
1.29 million, I believe, is that is the case.
1.27 million concurrent viewers.
That's huge. That is
now,
huge.
What confused me was this game is released on February 10th. Early access, midnight release for Pacific Coast and the rest of the world, maybe February 9th. And it's already tomorrow in New Zealand, so maybe February 8th. But on February 7th, it set a 1.2 million concurrent viewers live streaming.
Yeah.
So Hogwarts Legacy has a huge fan base following, and apparently, it's getting good reviews.
85 on Metacritic last time I checked, which is pretty good.
It's pretty much like what everyone would hope that, if you're a huge fan of a game. Hogwarts Legacy is to Harry Potter as what DBZ Kakarot wasn't to Dragon Ball Z for me. It has everything there. It has all the stuff there, but it still feels pretty hollow. And it's kind of okay, you're a fan of the series, you'll like looking at everything, But this feels super immersive, and it's gotten a lot of great reviews for, every otother category a game could have.
Yeah, so...
I don't know, it's going to win Best Music of the Year or something, I don't know. But...
what I will add to that is we got it, right? And to your point about the day, a couple days before release, there was a deluxe edition that was $10 more, came with a bunch of other content, and you got it earlier. So I think a bunch of streamers who got the deluxe edition went live, and it blew up. I mean, just chatting for horrible reasons tends to be the most popular category on Twitch, and it was dwarfing that by at least 500,000 plus. So it broke records in that regard. The game is reviewing well. Brianna played it tonight. Listen, my wife does not play games. I told you this last episode. I'm excited about this because she loves Harry Potter and she wanted to play the game. And I was like, this is a game that's going to turn her into a gamer. First off, it was adorable. She was using the left joystick to move like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then I was like, all right, I'm going to go get ready for the show. Do you need anything? She's like, no, I'm good. She played in perpetuity for it.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
I have 2 points here that I want to bring up. But the first thing is, has Brianna played any third-person games like that before? Camera controls can be pretty off-putting for a brand new person. Has she played other third-person games?
No, she hasn't, and that's a good point. She was experiencing confusion with having to do both at the time, and she was concerned she was going to get a little bit dizzy, and it was making her eyes tired. So
I'm a weirdo that inverts the y-axis every single time. I always have to change the setting. Weird. I get into a new game, and it's all right, start running, and I'm like, no, where are the options? And sometimes I have to wait 30 seconds in the story mode until you get options. You even get the chance to go into options, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
So I've invert my Y controls. I'm a monster. I don't invert my X ones.
Yeah.
But getting Joy to try to play It Takes Two, the camera controls were the hugest thing. And I was like, you can invert them if you want. And I tried inverting it because she was always going like this, on the base controls. Anyways. I saw you said Brianna's playing Hogwarts. I was not super excited about the game, and I was kind of going to justify getting it by having her play it because I'm on that TV slaying monsters nonstop, 32 hours in 2 weeks, Monster Hunter Rise. So I was like, hey, let's get Hogwarts Legacy. You can play it. But Joy kind of struggles with. She doesn't do well with. I think this is most new gamers. Third-person camera controls.
Mm-hmm.
Convoluted maps, and defense against the dark arts. I just don't think anyone by default is good at this kind of stuff. So I was gonna get it for her, and so if you were telling me Brianna's not struggling and is just in it,
well, now learning curves are there, but she's picking it up. And to be fair, it is genius to how well games are designed nowadays. Something you and I don't notice, and all the gamers out here in the chat. It's games nowadays, it's so obvious to hey, press this button to do this, and it's on the screen. And that's X. Oh, that's X. It is she at one point I ran upstairs to go to the bathroom and she was yelling for me because she was like, I need to figure out how to do this. But then I came back down and she figured it out. So it is going to be a little bit of a, I think, challenge for anyone who's not used to that. But I think she's playing on an easy mode. and there's some like parry and attack situations that happen very early on. She passed it flawlessly. So I say all that to then say this. I love Harry Potter. I was at midnight releases at Barnes & Noble and Borders before GameStop to go get those books. Okay?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a part of who I am. Like, I was a book nerd before I was a game nerd. Well, I mean, both and this is immersive as all get out, like you said. I love that analogy of fighters to Dragon Ball Z because it is a story set in the 19th century, and I am completely captivated so far in what this story is about just on watching her. Yeah, it looks good. We got it on the PS5. We got the regular edition. Yeah, I'm curious to hear her thoughts on the story more, but I came up here and she paused it. Yeah, no, if people are interested in it, I said play the game. Avalanche Studios is the company behind it, right? And here's a question. They have a little bit of a not bad, but like different history, right? But didn't they make the Mad Max game? I thought they did. Yeah. And
see, that's what's weird. Like Rage 2, they made Rage 2, they made Mad Max and Just Cause. Like
that's it.
It's games that like overall you're playing it and you're like, cool, I'm here, but they ultimately just start to feel hollow and not like just completely, there. And so I was surprised with the reception of Hogwarts because like this is like their I think their biggest one. I think this is going to be the biggest thing and most successful thing, despite all of the vitriol online about the franchise overall.
Hold on a second.
But yeah, it's a huge step for them. Like if you were just trying to assess a studio overall, this is a huge jump from their previous work.
There's this is an important differentiation here. Two different companies, Avalanche Games and Avalanche Software. Avalanche Games made everything we just talked about.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Avalanche Software.
Avalanche Studios?
Yeah, Avalanche Studio. Correct. They made all those games we just mentioned, not Hogwarts Legacy. Avalanche Software has made recent games: Cars 3, Disney Infinity 3.0, Disney Infinity 2.0, Cars 2, Toy Story 3, Bolt, Hannah Montana. There's the one. Spotlight World Tour. So many weekends. Meet the Robinsons. Dragon Ball Z Sagas for the GameCube. Tak 2, Tak and the Power of the Juju, Rugrats Were Ritz, NCAA Football 2K3. Interesting.
That's even worse. Everything I just said.
Yeah.
It's exponential now.
Yeah,
although my gosh.
They were responsible for Rampage 2 Universal Tour in the N64, and I love that game. And they did some Mortal Kombat ports back in the day as well. So, yeah, so different companies, but if anything...
Avalanche Studios, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so if anything, it's a major step up for what they've been putting out recently. So... yeah. So yeah, those in the chat wondering.
I'm still confused.
We didn't do the announcement yet, but I wanted to bring that up since we're talking about Hogwarts Legacy. We're going to do that here in a little bit. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited because here's the thing, right? Every time I play a game, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, Alex. I don't know. You can relate to this. Gamers in the chat. I like to say, hey, honey, I want you to watch as I play, like Dead Space or one of these other games. Like watch, like. There's a story here. This is fun. You're going to hear me scream like a little girl. It's great. And she's like, why would I more often than not, why would I want to watch you play? But then when she was playing Harry Potter, I was like, hey, I'm going to go upstairs. Do you care? She's like, well, I think this is something I want to play with you with me. And I was just like, oh, you want me to watch you play? I joke because she's new to gaming, right? But I'm just excited because, historically, we only play games like Jackbox, which what happens then with her. We're not going to go into it.
Nope. Yep.
For anyone in the chat here, if you ever are by chance in a Jackbox stream with us over on Twitch at Joyful's Arcade, and my wife's playing, watch out. She's going to win, and she will go for the throat. Or Mario Party, and it's the same thing. She will go for the throat, and I don't enjoy that. So I love her with my entire heart. I don't like losing in Mario Party. So,
but it's inevitable every time.
Yeah, everyone loses except her. That's the programming. Yeah, so again, we just started playing it tonight. You haven't picked it up, have you yet?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. You're not going to get it for Joy this weekend? Say, hey, happy marriage.
She's working this weekend. She works every other weekend at a hospital.
Oh.
I love my wife. But I'll get it for next weekend. We got the 3-day weekend, President's Day.
Is that next weekend?
No, you're right. God, I was looking forward to that.
When is it?
No, it's not. No, yeah, it's next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. Man, that was a roller coaster. I'm just going to take a minute and recover. Go back to zero here.
I don't even know if I get off work, but I hope I do because I haven't had a long weekend in 3 or 4 months. So, yeah. Next in the chat, I know we talked about this a little bit already, but the Metroid Prime remaster, again, it's only $39. You never had a GameCube growing up, did you?
No, I had one in college when I bought one at the Record Exchange, which became The Exchange, and I started playing Sonic, the one with Shadow. I think it's Sonic Adventures 2.
The X edition.
And yeah, that was my first GameCube. Yeah.
Okay. So Metroid Prime, I know you love the Metroid games. Metroid Prime, it's the same concept except 3D, right? Think a Metroid game in a world similar to Fallen Order, right? Fallen Order is a Metroidvania type game. And those games came out back in the day, were pretty revolutionary. Some of those people think those are some of the best games of all time. The remaster they did, I mean, I was looking at it. I pre-ordered the physical edition because I want the physical. I haven't bought the digital edition. That is available today. That was shadow dropped at the Direct. Again, brilliant move. But like I was just looking, this is again not just we're porting it, but I mean they pay attention to so much detail into this remaster. And for those who were upset about GoldenEye and the controller situation, which again that is like an emulation, this is a remaster. They basically updated the controls so you could play 2 joysticks. Like back then that was a GameCube game, so I think you used the C buttons to basically you had to like aim and move at different times. So it is a fully updated first person shooter. It is a Metroidvania game. I am gonna play the heck out of that when it comes here. I think on the 22nd or 23rd. And I encourage anyone who loves Metroid games or games of that nature to definitely check it out. So
I did want to mention it here because I'm like I don't want to remember it later, but or I don't want to forget it later. I'm still waiting for Octopath Traveler 2, and there was another February game that we were just talking about, Wild Hearts.
Wild Hearts, yeah.
But anyways, I'd like to make it a point that if anyone's in the chat is playing a game that they really like, or a game that's available on like the PlayStation Store that they like strongly recommend, I will beat the crap out of that thing in like 4 days. So if you want me to like play it real quick and have it as like one of the things under my belt, go ahead and drop it in the chat, and I will do my best.
I love that idea.
I will beat the crap out of it.
Oh yeah, I don't understand.
Weekend,
yeah,
you know,
I don't understand it.
Platinum trophy, but if it's a game I haven't played, I will do it.
Yeah, that is actually a great idea. So I'll eat weird things, and Alex, we'll do recommendations.
I will do the Alex way of playing games, which is ignoring friends and family and pretending to be asleep on the couch while I play video games.
It's impressive.
For 30 hours and 20 hours. So that, you know.
Yeah.
I would recommend Bayonetta. I would hope for they're already spamming
Fortnite. So what I will say this,
PS4,
say in the chat,
PS5 games, things I can buy on the PS5 because I do
like Fortnite or Bayonetta
in the long run, and Switch does not accommodate that.
Yeah, so put it in the chat or put it in the comments below if you're watching after the live stream. We'll do this every week, a game to recommend to Alex, and he could go ahead. Valheim's a good one. Valheim's one I think you might like. I could see Valheim being something you get addicted to. That other one too, what's right above that, Alex? Right above Valheim in the chat? Can you read that for me?
I'm completely illiterate. I've never learned to read since the age of 6 months. Like, I learned at 6 months, and then I forgot after that, so I can't read.
I'm glad you work in a laboratory. Yeah. So keep that in mind, Alex.
They got pictograms. They literally have pictograms. Like, this is corrosive. Not I don't know what corrosive means. This might hurt you. Wash out of eyes. You know. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Bayonetta is a PS4 game. Someone suggested Alex talks about Dynasty Warriors for 2 hours. He can. He's played all of them, and he has strong opinions.
I can tell you all of them. Yeah, but we'll save that.
Yeah, that's a bonus episode. Yeah,
you want the Way storyline? You want the Shoe storyline? Which one do you want? Like, because we can do that. No, that's all right.
He can't read, but he will tell you about the history of the Kingdom of the Roses. So
yeah, I've had it like told to me. You know.
Yeah. This is great. So yeah, I think that was pretty much all the news. Again, most of it being Nintendo Direct and Nintendo related. Again, I am a stockholder, so I'm declaring that. That is all. Let's transition to games that we're playing, and then we'll wrap it up with announcing the winners and also the other surprise we have as well. So if you're here for the contest, stay tuned. We'll be getting to that soon. But getting into games we're playing, Alex, I have a game I'm going to recommend to you, but you can't play it, but you're going to get mad, but you're going to want to. And I'm going to recommend it to everyone here. A game called Ast Libre, AST, Revision. It's a game that is on Steam right now, and it has set records for Steam reviews. I think it's got like 10,000 positive reviews. It is a game that is a mix of like Castlevania and all of those RPGs back in the day. Like it is, I don't even know how to explain it besides the story is captivating to me. It gives me classic RPG vibes, but it's also an amazing combat-driven game with all kinds of cool systems. Again, very much like Castlevania with a bunch of RPG mechanics put on top of it. And it's going to come to Switch this year. They have announced that it's getting a Switch port. So for those who can't play on PC, I am playing on PC and Steam Deck. It's phenomenal. I think it was $20, but there's also a pretty long demo as well on Steam too. And the makers of the game, again, not a big team. The makers of the game literally say, download the demo first. Like, don't buy our game. Download the demo first to see if you want it. But you're gonna then buy the game, in my opinion.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Like just try it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and try it. We dare you.
Yeah.
We know what's gonna happen.
And the demo is smart because it definitely puts you a little bit further into the game where you're into the combat situation.
No, okay. I want to stop right there actually.
Ooh, okay.
Triangle Strategy did that in the worst way. It's a game that no one knows what I'm talking about. Actually, it's already released.
Yeah.
But no, it was an extremely frustrating demo because they had good intentions. They're like, hey, we're going to drop you into a battle. Look at how much you can do. But it was like extremely overwhelming because there was just way too much mechanics that would have slowly been like given to you over the course of like the opening hours of the game. And like, it turned my one friend off completely from the game. Like he was a huge fan of Octopath Traveler and Fire Emblem, but he was just like, man, that was such a slog. It was so boring. Like everyone's, So I was going to say that there is an art to making an appropriate demo, and you're saying this company did a great demo by jumping right into the action, huh?
Yeah, so I think it's a common enough game type that is pretty easy to understand. And here's what I'll add on top of that: the game is really advanced. Like there's crafting, like you break trees. Every item you collect, you can craft into other things. Those items are critical, and it doesn't necessarily hold your hand, but the demo puts you into a situation where it's very much focused on, hey, get a taste of combat. And it stands by the combat alone. And there's so many different things in combat, like the weapons, the way you can upgrade weapons, the types of weapons you can use. Your companion's this little crow, and he can help you like transform into these other power moves. Like I turn into a red dragon and I spit fire, or I turn into this giant like stalagmite rock that comes out of the ground and punches a dragon right in the chin. It was fantastic, okay? And again, it's a long game. Like, there's a lot to this game. There's DLC already announced. And again, all of this great gameplay to say, I actually really am... like, there's a mystery to the story that they are pulling back so well that I'm like, oh, man. Like, it's not just the gameplay I want to keep doing. Like, I want to know more. I'm going to keep going. Like, what? And it tells cutscenes in such a cool, classic way, too. Where it's fully cutscene, it's storytelling in the game itself, and it's a 2D sprite type of system. I will say the graphics at first, the art style were a little weird to me when I saw it. I'm like, I don't know. But then when I played it, I'm like, no, this is really good. So
this is a Steam game, you said?
It's on Steam right now. You typed in the chat, so you know how to spell it. Ast Libre Revision.
I copied and pasted it from the Game Bytes sheet because I thought you said Libre, like Nacho Libre, like a luchador.
Yeah, well,
but like no, it was like Libra, which is like I think a spell in Final Fantasy. Like I was trying to copy and paste it so people could actually find.
Yeah, I think it's all the same etymology, same idea there. But it's on Steam and a Switch port is coming in 2023. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in the next few months. So if you have Steam, check it out. If you don't, just look at it and patiently wait if it's a game that interests you. But besides that, Fallen Order, love it. Jedi Master Mode, crushing it, and Monster Hunter. Alex, what are you playing?
I mean, you go ahead and guess.
Are you playing any DC games? Any turn-based mobile games?
Yeah.
How many hours, Alex? Do you need help? How many hours do you have in Marvel Snap now?
I'm probably over, 180, 190. The freaking Zabu season finally ended, and then after everyone paid for the premium pass, they just nerfed them.
Yeah.
No, right now it's MODOK.
Ooh.
They're doing a whole season on Quantum Mania, which I was surprised that wasn't like something they did more often.
To co-promote a movie or property?
Yeah, co-promote. That was like the first thing, because like they did Black Panther, I think, in like December. Like it had nothing to do with, back when like Black Panther, I think that came out in like August or September.
Yeah, when did Marvel Snap come out though? That was probably after that movie.
Like 2014, I think. I've never done any reading on it or know anything about it. So 2014.
It came out like the week I called you and told you about it.
That was it? Then that was November. That was mid-November. Then that makes a little bit more sense as to why there wasn't a Black Panther promotion during the month the movie came out.
Makes a lot of sense.
No, that and Monster Hunter Rise. I'm just trying to climb my Hunter rank. It's like 37 and no one cares, and I should probably stop. But yeah, I really want to mix it up, which is why I asked the chat. I will. Can I mute whoever said the game I hate? But I'm going to give these other ones a try. I'll probably pick one of them. As long as it's on PS5, I'm just going to go hard and do one of these. Just dive right into it.
The PS4 games are on PS5. So
yeah, I'll do whichever.
Yeah. So I mean, you're still playing that. You're still playing Monster Hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking for a hand, just like to break it up a little bit.
Yeah, I finally had my first challenge last night in Monster Hunter. It was like I won. I fainted once, but it took me like 20 minutes, and I was cruising through. 4-star level 4 challenge. It was, I forget the name of the dragon. He was just a pain in my butt, and like just.
Does he have long teeth?
He was a silverish dragon, long teeth. He just had a lot of mobility. To where like he would move and then he would jump real high and do like a dive bomb onto you and like was dangerously accurate. He also did these wind gusts as well, like twisters.
Whoa, you shouldn't be facing that thing yet. That's a monster from that's a monster from World.
It's 4th level.
You were probably in the event thing, but holy crap, yeah, you shouldn't be fighting that thing yet. When you said Silver Dragon, that's one of the Elder Dragons. I'm going to stop. No one cares.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe I'm misdescribing it, but it looked like a tiger.
No, but that's something from World. Like they, in the event quests, they brought a lot of monsters from World in there, and it's pretty cool. And there's a lot of Apex ones from the Rise, but like that thing that you're talking about is the one that you fought on like the ice, not the ice level. It was like a crystal level.
No, there was ice. There was snow
from World.
Yeah. Well, no, in this game, there was a lake, and it was snow around the lake. It was that level in Monster Hunter Rise. So it was 4-star. So maybe I'll look it up. I'll look it up to make sure it's the right one. But man, I love that game. It's just a great game. Like I bounced last night. Like I'm playing a little bit more Destiny 2. Because I bought a lot of that game over the years. I haven't played a lot of it, and there's a new DLC coming out that interests me. But I bounced around between some Mass Libre, and between Monster Hunter, and then Final Fantasy 14. But Monster Hunter is the perfect one because when it's late at night, I want to get something in. I'll do a couple monsters. But this guy, I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. I beat him. I'm done. Like I am frustrated right now. So that's a great game. And Dead Cells, I'm still doing that. Like my morning routine now includes like a run of Dead Cells, and it is perfect. Yeah, and I can't wait for that DLC. By the way, I don't think I mentioned that enough. But March 6th,
I'm excited. I'm gonna get back into it when Castlevania drops.
Yeah, March 6th, Castlevania DLC
so cool.
coming.
Such a cool trailer.
Yeah, Switch and PC and everywhere else the game is, I believe, too. So, I'm excited. I think that's it, though. Alex, is there anything else you want to mention? Okay.
No.
All right. Well,
no, I'm excited for Wild Hearts, and if anyone in the chat's getting Wild Hearts, I'm willing to drop a gamer tag. I will be on that game. Okay, first of all, if it drops day one and everyone's like, it's a worthy, hey, it's like what the Surge was to Dark Souls or FromSoft games. I'll be like, okay, let's do this. But if they're like, this is buggy, doesn't work, the trailers didn't show anything, it's super buggy, then I probably won't get it. But like, if anyone happy, would you stop mentioning that game?
What, Fortnite? It's a good game. Yeah, Dead Cells is a great game too. So yeah, I think if it's a good game, I'll definitely check it out too. I have room in my my budget for that if that comes out this month. But if it's so, I'll probably wait till it's on sale to check it out or something like that. Or if it comes to Game Pass, that's a no-brainer then. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good couple months here. I want to get through Fallen Order. That's where I'm streaming that chat live over on Twitch.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like it because of the Dark Souls angle, or from soft angle. But no, play it all the way through, dude. You're gonna love it.
I love that about it. I'm playing on Jedi Master Mode,
punishing.
and yeah, I love a good punishment. I'm weird like that, you know. Anyways, so we do have winners to announce for the Hogwarts Legacy giveaway with the face Alex is making. I think that means I should transition. And I'll say this, everyone, for those who are here in the chat, can we get some hype? I'm gonna hit the draw winner button on my software. It's going to pick 2 winners, and if any of them are K-Max, I am going to redo him. I'm kidding. No. I play K-Max.
I'm willing to re-roll with Happy Cynic here.
Yeah, but I will say this. If anyone's here is waiting for this winner's announcement, stick around because we are going to announce our contest for the next 2 months. And there may be a secret code that can get you a lot of entries to the next contest that I'm going to say here at the end of this show. I'm just saying. I'm trying to give you something tantalizing. I'm dangling that.
That's a Dragon Ball Z. That'd be cool if it was actually about a Dragon Ball Z game. You're like, I'm just saying.
No, I mean, if I was, yeah, I mean, I'd be saying. Just say that. I have a shirt that's actually just says "just saying." So, you do it. I'm gonna do it. Oh, we got some hype. Thank you for the subscription, Martaza Hussein. I hope you're having a wonderful night, my friend. That is some weird music that I'm playing, but it's a beautiful song. It's a cover of Chemical Night Zone from Sonic 2. So I'm gonna draw the winners right now. It's thinking. It just said, "Excuse me, but that person you're on the podcast with looks a lot like Bill Murray and has a lot of Naruto figures in the back."
Oh, it said that? That's so weird. That's like some AI stuff. Shut up.
Yeah, it's ChatGPT. No, it's actually just Elon Musk. No, 55%, 100%. It is processing. Boom! The winners. We got some winners from down under. All right, the 2 winners. Entry number 87,722. Jamie Nelson, specifically watching or listening to Game Byte's most anticipated games of 2023. That entry she got from that one won her a copy of Hogwarts Legacy. And the second winner, the second winner, chicken dinner from Down Under, Diana Randall, entry number 83,562. For watching or listening to Game Byte's most anticipated games of 2023. Both of those actions got people the winning pool there. So congratulations to Jamie and Diana. Obviously, if you're not here, I'm going to reach out to you. When you enter, you give me your information. It's all done through a very secure platform called Gleam, so it's very legit. Thank you for everyone who participated. But as I said, do not leave yet, because right after this on social media and in the Discord, I'm going to be putting live the contest that goes from today until April 28th. 2 copies of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Who here is excited for Jedi Survivor? I am. Alex, have you heard of this game?
A little bit. It's like that thing with the glow sticks at a party. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's Beat Saber, but with like an adventure and story to it.
It's like Beat Saber, but you can move a little bit more.
Yeah. So here's the thing, chat. There's a special code I'm about to say that you can use to get a lot of extra entries. It's going to be something everyone here can redeem, and it's going to be something you can only redeem once, but anyone again can redeem it. There's not a limit on how many people can redeem it. It is kind of a throwback to what the last one was, but it's relevant to the garlic. The password that you will be able to redeem once I post this contest live on Twitter and in the Discord is Wario is king.
Is it case sensitive?
It is all caps. Wario is king, and he is. He's better than Mario in my opinion. I love Mario, but I relate more to Wario. Yeah, Wario is king, all caps. Thank you. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Did I get it? Is it up there? I can't see anything.
Yeah, actually, for those in the chat, I'm going to post the contents here in the chat right now as well. So you guys can get to it there, but I'm going to post it on social media here. Just give me 1 second. I have it live. If you go to it, you'll see all the ways to enter, copy, promotion, copy. Here it is. Here's the giveaway. Go ahead and enter, everyone. Boom, shakalaka. Go there. Use the multiple ways to get your entries. Wario is King will get you a lot of entries. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Alex.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
Is there any way that you can export like who has already like participated in the chat, and we can gift another copy of Hogwarts? I would.
Who are you talking about?
No, like I'm saying, like anyone, all these usernames in the chat. Can you throw those into another randomizer and I can gift another copy?
You want to do that?
Yeah, I'll gift one.
All right, chat. You heard it there first. So let's do this. If anyone isn't here in the Discord, let me do this. Let me get a link, because I think that's the best way we'll be able to reach out to everyone that's here. So invite people, copy. So if you're here and you're not chatting, chat so Alex knows you're here, and join the Discord. Alex is going to put all your names in another draw, and one of you will get the contest. Alex, we'll take care of this after. Again, everyone in the chat.
Yeah, we'll take care of it after. I'd rather you just throw the names in the Discord. Or I want the names in the chat as long as if they're in the Discord, some way of communicating it.
Yeah.
Throw it in a randomizer. It's a small pool of like, I don't know how many of you are. I want to say 16. But yeah, I'll gift another one. Whatever system they have, we can send them some Amazon download code or something. I'll do it.
All right. Alex says he'll give you his social security number and his driver's license.
A couple of things, my wife's social, her car.
All right. Well, I know the car is having some trouble sometimes, so don't you do something like that to someone. Alex, what a blessing you are, my friend. What a blessing. Gil's here.
I'm just feeling the good vibe.
All right. Feeling the good vibe. The apple cider vibe. All right, so everyone here in the chat, we are going to go ahead and do this evening. I'm going to get your names. We'll put them in a randomizer. Another copy will be given. Those who did win, I will reach out to you. And then again, Wario is King, all caps, will get you a big entry bonus to the next contest we're running for Jedi Survivor. You can enter there, and I'll be posting that on social media. Alex, can you please sign us off, good sir? You remember.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Don't get lost at Hogwarts. I heard there's a lot of dangerous stuff there. I want to know everyone's Patronus by next week. That's homework. And stay cool, stay full, and stay warm. Jeez, I messed it up.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect. All right, everyone. God bless. Stay classy. We will catch you on next weekend's episode of Game